I woke up to flashing blue lights. There was an ambulance outside. What was that doing there? I felt fine. I'd had worse cuts. Everyone persuaded me that perhaps hospital was the best thing. Jane was gaping as though she'd just been witness to an exorcism. I was carried off to the hospital knowing that I'd lost my heroic struggle with the distilleries of the world. Perhaps 2 bottles of gin a day was hitting the stuff a bit hard. Bernard later pointed out to me that over the last 6 months, because I'd been buying in bulk, I had moved on to the pub-size bottles, that is, 40 fluid ounces each, making an average daily consumption of 4 pints imperial, 2.5 US quarts. It was enough to preserve a cadaver or kill 6 encrotites. St. Alvar's Hospital probably had some well-equipped and modern wards, and parts of it may well be the very best in the land, but I was taken to none of these bits. I was destined for the national health as it really is parts of the edifice of healing. Dingy corridors, overcrowded wards, underworked staff, Hogarthian inmates, Bodician plumbing, and a television that you had to peddle. Quantities of blood were taken for analysis. I was pumped full of vitamins and drugged up to my toupee with heminevrin and Valium. But the Rasputin in me cut through the fog of sedation like a bottle of cutty sark. I knew that I was not living in the style to which I had been accustomed, and decided that those who could pay for medicine should. I was taken to a private clinic, in which there was, luckily, 1 Arab-free bed. My personal physician and hard-drinking companion, His Efficaciousness, A.R. Bailey, the practical, member of the Royal College of Physicians, said, "Right, we'll start the treatment. Your liver function tests were appalling, 10 times over the acceptable norm for the gamma-GTP, for instance. But there's no sign of enlargement, and with a bit of luck there's a chance that you may not have damaged your liver permanently. We'll phase out the heminevrin and Valium gradually, and you can take 1 Abstem tablet in the morning and 1 in the evening, so that if you do drink any alcohol, you'll feel as ill as you were 5 days ago. It's up to you whether you drink or not. It's your liver. It's your life." Dr. Bailey left me Valiumed up a treat, along with the children, whose little faces shone with anticipation as in came Puss, followed by Dick Whittington. "Oh dear, Puss," said Dick, "London is far behind us. What shall we do now?" "Meow." "What's that? Sing a song?" "Meow." "What now? For all the children?" "Meow." "Shall we sing a song, children?" "Yes." The words were lowered from the ceiling, and as the band struck up the March of the Liberty Bell, we all joined in the song. "Of all the organs the body contains, the liver's the one for me. It processes food, it deals with the waste, it's cleverer than a knee. When it throws up its hands at alcohol and makes you extremely ill, it's best to take heed, you're not being a weed, you're just being sensible." "Dizzy Gillespie wrote that," I said. "He may have done, but Fenchurch Street Station is mine. So, Jane, that's £150 you owe me," said Bernard. "You've only got 2 stations," said Jane. "I bought Marylebone from you last time you landed on Graham's Hotel in Old Kent Road." "Oh, well, that's me out then." "No, it isn't. There's still plenty of property you can mortgage." "I'm not going to mortgage those. I'm going to build there. You haven't got any money." "All right, I'll give you the waterworks." "I don't want it. Perhaps Graham does." "Graham, do you want the waterworks?" "Graham?" "No, I'll buy the camelopard." "What?" "It's a camel that looks like a leopard." "A giraffe." "He's gone again," said Bernard. A pantomime. Dizzy Gillespie, camelopard. I was clearly making a good recovery. Even without alcohol, I was thinking irrationally, and generally being an odd sort of fellow, don't you know. What ho, old chap, how's the gazebo? Do you know, last time I was in Paris, I really did ring Jean-Paul Sartre, and Simone de Beauvoir answered the phone and said that he was out distributing leaflets. Or was that a sketch? Leaving that side of my mind to play around with itself for a while, the rest of it brought itself up to date. I was feeling good. My self-imposed treatment was over. With the use of alcohol, I had managed to kill exactly the number of brain cells I had decided to lose at the age of 22 without sacrificing my liver. There's no doubt that an excess of alcohol accelerates the death of brain cells, and that in small doses, as with any other anesthetic, it can temporarily put them out of action, starting at the top and working down the central nervous system. It's the inhibitory influences of the higher centers of the brain which are first affected. That's why alcohol is so commonly used as an aid to social intercourse. It can help you say hello to new friends, goodbye to old friends. Do you want to come back to my place to strangers? Or why don't you fuck off to tediosities? If you're on to a cert, the last thing you need is something nagging away at the front of your brain saying, perhaps another time, with someone else. Anyway, might laugh at my willy. What you need is another pint. To cure my own inhibitions, however, I had discovered a long time ago that another pint and then another was not enough. I was interested in something more permanent. I needed to rid myself of my cramping fetters forever. I had prescribed an extensive course of heavy drinking in order to actually kill off offending nerve cells, a hazardous treatment in that some of the more useful cells, those responsible for keeping oneself within the limits of socially acceptable behaviour, also received a heavy battering. So, what could have been the story of a kind-hearted, respectable medical practitioner isn't.